Look, I know some waitresses right now that have to pay a set amount every single hour, a percentage of their take in tips. It's like 12% per hour they have to pay. No matter what their tips are, they still have to pay 12% of a set.
$1 $12 they have to pay they have to pay like $12 because the people, the IRS came in and audited their restaurant on a really busy day, and some days they aren't as busy as that, and so the IRS says, oh, well, all the waitresses should be making this much in tips. And, you know, some people don't all tip the 15% or whatever that they rated it on.
Now, the taxes will be simplified. A flat tax will eliminate loopholes, and that's the loophole areas where the lobbyists are really taking over our country. They are manipulating all kinds of things behind the scenes. They get every congressman out there and woman to listen to them. They get their ear. They constantly wine and dine them. And when our congressmen listen to these lobbyists, they say, oh, so what do you want? They usually want a tax break for their client. So then you get companies like ExxonMobil not even paying any taxes. And that's exactly the case. We got ExxonMobil. All the Republicans can think about is keeping their tax credits and tax deductions. So will we pass a fair flat tax? Probably not. Not within the first term. But if there's a second term, and I do a good enough job as president in the first 4 years, I'm pretty sure that both the House and the Senate should consider a fair flat tax combo because they'll see the need to simplify. Simplification is at the heart of any solution. Whenever you look at complicated problems, what you want to do is cut away all the excess fat, and that includes the budget, with the waste of pork barrel spending and tremendous amount of fat that's in our budget. Cut the fat away, and then you get to the meat, and then you see what you need. And that's what we're going to do. It sounds kind of like common sense, and it is. But you see, the problem is we haven't had a common sense leader in Washington for many, many years. We just haven't.
Right. Yeah, I would totally agree, and I also agree that we should, eliminate all loopholes for all the unnecessary loopholes, all the unnecessary tax credits for oil companies, and I would agree, and we're losing so much in revenue. We're not necessarily tax the hell out of them, obviously, but still get enough money where we're not going to have a deficit because we're giving away worthless tax breaks to people.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things, we were first given this idea of the fair flat tax combination by someone from AmericanChangeParty.com.
Yeah.
Wait. PLTP in chat, ATP. Wait, what? Pistol Pete. So basically, anyway, he proposed a fair flat tax combination where anything over $10,000 in sales was not taxed, and everything under $10,000 was taxed, including food. And then the other thing he also wanted to do is he wanted to not tax anything up to $100,000, and then anything over $100,000 he wanted to tax 10% in actual gross income. And there are definitely problems with that for sure, because one, if you tax food, that's like what people need to live on. I don't think that's a good idea. Two, I think that Pistol Pete, I would gladly give you our Skype name and you could call in and tell us your tax plan, because I've always been interested in what you would have to say on that. And then he wanted to tax
really quick, concerning like taxing food and stuff. I think that there are a lot of foods, like basic foods, like pasta, let's say, bread, peanut butter, maybe. Those are just basic foods, and I don't necessarily should be. I think that it would be nice to just get rid of the sales tax for stuff like that. Like necessary items, like clothing, that type of stuff, or a very, very low tax. But then you have other food, like maybe going to a restaurant, or maybe buying a steak, or maybe buying really, really big, nice $18 meat or caviar. Maybe shouldn't be taxed the hell out of it. You shouldn't be getting like a 50% tax on it. But it should be taxed simply because, I'll be quite honest, it's a good way to make money. It's a good way for our government to solve its deficit problems. comes in to make money. I'll just be quite honest about that.
Wait,
but then also, those aren't really things you need to live. You know what I mean? Those aren't things you need to function as a human being or as a member of the American or as society as a whole. Let's forget the whole American society. You know what I mean? So I do think there are limitations to what we tax concerning food, but I do think there should be food that we should tax.
Yeah, like right now, for instance, there's food is not taxed in our state, not even candy. They did put a tax on candy and sodas before, and the last election, the people voted that they could not tax even sodas and candies.
Oh, I actually agree with taxing soda and candy because it's just so bad for you, you know what I mean? And I'll be quite honest, we're not telling you, this is what, like, I hear a lot of people who say, like, oh, you're telling me that I can't drink soda anymore, like people who, when we tax cigarettes, oh, you're telling me that I can't smoke cigarettes anymore by taxing it. It's like, no. Number one, these are things that are not necessary for you to live. So we're going to tax it because it's a good way to make money, like I just said. Also, these things are contributing to your debt. And we, as the United States of America, are not going to allow our citizens to die because we care about you. They don't really care about you, but I would like to think that we care about you, and we don't want you to die for many reasons. Therefore, we're going to tax cigarettes more than we tax other things, and sodas and candies and unhealthy foods to promote healthy foods. And maybe it will actually teach people to start eating healthier foods. We're not banning it. We're just taxing it to the point where it might actually trigger some little brain cell up there to actually start eating healthy.
Yeah, it might. Okay, Pistol Pete, I am on Skype now, if you would like. That would be fine. Okay. Was that something?
Oh, wait. Oh, Pistol Pete says MSNBC is now running as a promoter of Obamacare. Well, that's sort of a duh moment. I mean, pretty much at MSNBC, basically, Obama will syrup the Kool-Aid and everybody will just drink it all until it's all done. So that's how MSNBC operates.
Yep. All right. We're on the phone with the Reverend Live Free. Wait just a sec. I don't know if everyone can hear you.
Live Free.
Okay. Go ahead and talk. Reverend Live Free, you're on the phone. I hear him typing, I think, unless that's you.
Oh, no, that's me. Sorry.
No,
I'm chatting with him on Facebook.
Okay. Strange. Okay. I don't know. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me, or
I can't hear him. So I don't know if it's like he can't hear me or he should be able to hear me. All right. Anyway, but there you go. I can hear you now, or I can hear some static from Reverend Live Free. How are you? You wanted to talk about taxes? I hear more static.
That's a lot of static.
Yeah, a lot of static. Okay, now it's done. You're a paralegal, and you must say that medical bills are the second or third biggest causer of bankruptcies. Very true. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Medical bills are the second or third largest cause of bankruptcies. That's one of the things that we believe at America's Third Party is that we need to actually address the cost of health care so that we can lower the number of bankruptcies created by that. Now, the thing about Obamacare, Mr. Sir Guy person, is it will get more and more people on health care. The people that will benefit the most from Obamacare are going to be the insurance companies, and the big pharma are also going to benefit from Obamacare.
Yeah, and Obamacare is only going to kick in for people over 62,000 in income will be affected. Anyone under 62,000 in income will be qualify for Medicaid under Obamacare. So if you make less than 62,000, Medicaid will cover you. So Obamacare is not going to get the kind of revenue that Obama thought he'd help big pharma and the big healthcare insurance companies. He's not really going to get 31 million new customers. He's actually going to get less. Hey there, Luckily Clover. Doing pretty well, thank you.
Well, if you realize most of these new customers are going to be customers of the insurance companies, or I'll be quite frank with you, if I were an insurance company executive, wouldn't really want. These are going to be cancer patients. These are going to be patients who nobody would, seniors, these are going to be patients who nobody would ever insure. So although you're right, they might be getting more people in where they'll be spending more, they'll get more customers to pay every month or weekly or whatever. At the same time, they'll probably be paying a lot more for these people since there's so much to take care of than those people will actually be paying towards the insurance company.
Yeah, so anyone with a pre-existing healthcare condition, they will get coverage. They'll be forced to get coverage, and the Obama plan didn't have a public option embedded in it. He actually gave up the public option, which would have been the only solution that would have made sense, because then a national healthcare plan would have come into play and people with pre-existing conditions would be absorbed. Instead, we're going to force them on insurance companies. And if they don't accept, the insurance companies don't accept the loss that a very sick person is going to cause them, then they go under, or they get their profits checked and garnished at the bank. That's what the Obamacare plan will do. So it will destroy a lot of small insurance companies, lowering the amount of competition, and provide new customers to very big companies like Cigna, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Kaiser, Humana, all the big companies that are nest at the White House, sucking off the Obama teat. They're the ones that are going to benefit.
What's your view on Social Security?
Okay, we got two people right now. We got Reverend Live Free live. Hi, Reverend Live Free. Do you have something?
Before either of you guys talk, I'm going to have David ask this question from Mr. Sir Guy.
What's my view on Social Security? We can make some modifications to it. Eliminating the cap on payroll taxes would open up a lot of money for Social Security. And like CEOs that make millions of dollars in payroll themselves can pay more payroll taxes. That will help Social Security. And we can phase in an age of retirement to 70. I kind of like the idea of a 10-year phase-in plan to the idea of people retiring at 70 as opposed to 65. Those are good ideas. Those are simple corrections that will keep this Social Security Trust Fund fiscally sound well into the future. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me right now?
I can hear you, Linda.
Yes, now we can.
You're good.
Oh, thank you. For sure, my computer. I actually want to make a point. Maybe this is a little off topic now, but what we was talking about earlier about taxing cigarettes and taxing things that kill you more. There's a much simpler answer than the entire idea he was kind of going with, which was kind of a play on what America is and what it should be for its people. The simple answer is that Medicare and Medicaid are expensive systems, and cigarettes and alcohol and the like cause damage to your body. Now, what they do is they make us have to spend more money on the people that smoke and drink. We spend more money per person on people who smoke regularly, pack-a-day smokers. They're much more susceptible to different types of cancers, to lung diseases. And overall, people are sucking more money out of our system, so thusly we should tax them more to recuperate the lost funds that they're spending on their healthcare systems.
If it goes directly to that purpose, it taxes directly to that purpose. Okay. That's
why I'm more in favor of a socialistic single-payer healthcare system, because you can directly do these math problems. They become very, very simple.
Yeah.
When you're only taking and spending from the same source. Right now, we have a million different sources and a million different ways of taking income for these sources. That not only is the math diluted, but they can be diluted by people's opinion, which is what you say in Fox News.
But there are some broad strokes there, and one of the biggest contentions to that is lower quality of care, and private health care insurance plans offer more specialized services. I don't want to step on the toes of private health care providers. I would rather offer a public option as an alternative and then do whatever I could with. So obviously the public option is going to be picking up the pieces for these smokers and people that stick crap in their mouth and eat it. So we obviously have that built into the safety net of the public option, or a national opt-in plan that we call it a national opt-in plan. But if people don't pay into that, they would still qualify for Medicaid and Medicare. And I argue that the biggest problem with those areas is lack of oversight. We don't have a means to stop the fraud as easily as we should. Medical review boards at the state doesn't cut it.